Welcome to Karma Chronicles. Please like the video and subscribe. Let's begin. Emily was fixing her fairy wings with double-sided tape when I heard the buzz in my back pocket. I almost didn't check it. We were both knee-deep in final touches. But I glanced down and saw my mom's name. Figured she was calling to say they were on their way. Maybe a "can I bring cookies" kind of call. Instead, her voice was flat. "Vanessa, just wanted to let you know. We're going to Amanda's tonight." I blinked, crouched beside the apple-bobbing station, zip-tying the last inflatable ghost to the table leg. What? Amanda's harvest dinner. It's just more appropriate, safer, more organized. Everyone agreed I froze. "You're skipping Emily's carnival? It's nothing personal," she said, like that changed a damn thing. Amanda's event is calmer. Not so chaotic, I stood up, the zip tie still dangling from my hand. Emily was in the living room rehearsing her welcome speech, standing in front of the mirror in her glitter wings, clutching a clipboard like it was a lifeline. She'd been planning this thing since August. "Mom, she's been working on this for months. Handmade games, candy bags. She's got a whole itinerary." "I know, Vanessa," she cut in, "but you have to admit, it's all a little childish. Amanda's event has a real schedule. Grown-ups can sit down, have cider. You know, a normal gathering." "She's 19, I snapped. "This is what she wants to do with her life. You said you'd come." You all said, "Well, plans change. Don't let Emily take it personally." That part hit me like a slap. Don't let her take it personally? The girl printed name tags for every one of you. Quick note, before listening, share which city or country you're watching from. I tried to say something, anything, but my mouth wouldn't work. Emily turned to me and grinned nervously. "How's my hair?" I couldn't answer. "Anyway," my mom kept going, "just tell her we had other plans. No hard feelings. And Vanessa, don't make this a thing." She hung up before I could say another word. I stared at my phone like it had just punched me in the stomach. The inflatable spider next to me gave a slow hiss as it settled. That tiny sound made my chest tighten even more. Emily had been buzzing around the living room, her cheeks flushed, costume glitter catching the light. And in one phone call, I knew she was about to throw a party no one from her own family would show up to, and I had to be the one to tell her. Emily turned around mid-sentence, still smiling, holding up her clipboard like a trophy. I slipped the phone into my pocket and walked straight down the hall, out of sight. I hit Amanda's name and pressed call. She picked up immediately, all fake cheer. "Hey, hey, happy Halloween!" There was loud music and laughter in the background, clinking glasses, the sound of kids running around. "What the hell is going on?" I said, no warm-up. Amanda didn't miss a beat. "Oh, we're doing the harvest dinner here now." "Didn't Mom tell you?" It just made more sense. "You took it?" I said. "You took over Emily's event." "Relax. It's not like we stole a wedding. It's just a party. Honestly, it needed help. Emily's idea was sweet, but it felt amateur, little kiddish. We cleaned it up. I gripped the phone so tight I felt my knuckles crack. She worked on that thing for 3 months. Every detail, every decoration. It was hers, Amanda's side, like I was being dramatic. "Vanessa, come on. You've been letting her think this stuff is a business. It's crafts. She's a sweet girl, but this whole carnival thing? No permits, no food license, no RSVPs. It's a backyard playdate. She's 19, Amanda. She's building something. You didn't just ignore her. You hijacked it, and you brought everyone with you. You could have helped her pivot. You're her mom, not her hype squad." I didn't even answer. I just hung up. I walked back to the living room with a pulse in my ears so loud I barely noticed Emily taping signs to the wall. "Candy graveyard, this way," one said. Her hands were still shaking slightly, but she was doing it. Then my phone buzzed again. Group text. I opened it. Photos, Amanda's party in full swing. A whole room decked out in plaid and pumpkins. Folding tables, a buffet, fake hay bales. The entire damn family smiling like they hadn't just stomped all over a 19-year-old girl's dream. One photo had a caption, "Thank you, Amanda, for rescuing the holiday." My face must have changed. Emily looked over. "Mom?" I didn't say anything. "What's wrong?" she asked again, slower this time. I tried to lock the screen, but she was already walking toward me. She held out her hand. "Let me see." I hesitated. She waited. Then quietly, "Please." I gave it to her. She scrolled. 1 photo. 2. 4. The caption, the names, The grins? Her fingers stopped moving. Did they know I planned this? Her voice was so steady it felt wrong. I nodded. Yeah, they knew Emily didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just turned around and started flipping off the lights one by one, the orange string lights lining the ceiling, the black light spotlight over the slime table, the flickering jack-o'-lantern projector near the hallway. Click, click, click. Then she sat on the floor in the middle of the living room, cross-legged in her fairy costume, clipboard still in her hand, lights off, games half set, and just stared at nothing. I just wanted them to see, she said. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. She didn't look at me, didn't move. The glitter on her wings caught the last bit of light from the hallway. Then even that faded. I sat down across from her, but she didn't notice. She looked like someone had turned her to stone. Emily didn't say a word, just stood up slowly and started pulling down the banner. Welcome to the Spookapalooza! The ooh in spook had little bats glued to it. Her hands moved like she was disarming a bomb. Careful, mechanical. She folded the banner without looking at it, laid it flat on the coffee table, then turned to the pumpkin ring toss. The rings went into a box. The tiny plush prizes, ghosts, spiders, a sad little Frankenstein, followed. Not one tear. I felt it all boiling under my skin, and not just for her, because I knew that look on her face. I'd worn it before. When I was 10, I made the honor roll for the first time. I came home, held the paper up like it was gold, and my mom didn't even look up from folding laundry. She just said, "Good. Now stop slacking in math. I was the mistake." The oops baby she had in college, and I never forgot it. Then Amanda came along 5 years later, and suddenly we had coordinated Christmas photos and bake sales. Mom became the volunteer queen. Field trip chaperone, PTA board member. I used to wonder what it felt like to be wanted before you even existed. That's why I swore Emily would never feel that. Not once. No eye rolls, no sighs when she walked in, no brushing her off when she had an idea. She was 4 when she started planning parties for her stuffed animals, 6 when she built a cardboard ticket booth for her imaginary circus, 9 when she threw a lemonade stand birthday for the neighbor's toddler. It wasn't a phase. It was her. Every time she said she wanted to run kids' events for a living, the family would smile like she'd just told a joke. Oh, that's cute. You'll want a real job eventually. What about college? And now they'd made it clear. They never took her seriously, not once. She picked up a stack of handmade goodie bags, each one decorated, labeled, tied with ribbon. I watched her tuck them into a plastic bin like she was packing away pieces of herself. My chest felt tight. This wasn't just a party to her. This was everything. And now she had proof. Physical, unignorable proof. I could have sat there and let her put every last piece into those bins. I could have told her next time, or they didn't mean it like that. But I'd be lying. They meant it. They always meant it. And I wasn't letting them do it again. Emily bent down to unplug the cauldron bubble machine. I stood up. Leave it, I said. She looked up, confused. What? I didn't repeat myself. I just started walking toward the kitchen to grab my phone. Because if they weren't coming, then we were going to find people who would. I stepped into the kitchen, pulled up my contacts, and hit call. Hey, Jess, I said, pacing by the sink. You got plans tonight? Nope. Kids are running in circles, and I'm hiding in the laundry room. You want to come to a carnival? Games, prizes, candy, and you don't have to plan a thing. Silence. Then, wait, like now? Starts in an hour. You coming? Jess laughed, loud and relieved. Absolutely. Thank you, God. What should we bring? Just show up. I hung up and called the next one. Tanya, you got Halloween plans? She groaned. Don't even. Forgot to buy candy. My twins are dressed and bouncing off the walls. Perfect. I've got games, music, and sugar. Come by. It's all set up. Bless you, girl. We're on our way next call. Then another, and another. People weren't hesitating. They were grateful. Tired parents, last-minute moms, divorced dads with confused kids for the weekend, all of them jumped at the offer. All I said was, free Halloween carnival. All you have to do is show up. I walked back into the living room after about 15 minutes. Emily was sitting on the edge of the couch, still in costume, holding the same bin of packed decorations in her lap. She looked up. What are you doing? I didn't sugarcoat it. Rebuilding Halloween. She blinked. What? I've got 14 kids coming so far. Might hit 20. Some neighbors, Jess and her boys, Tanya, and the twins. I'm just getting started. Emily's mouth opened, but nothing came out. She set the bin down slowly. You're serious? I nodded once. Completely. You built this thing, and it's gonna run. She looked toward the darkened room, the string lights, the half-deflated spider, the cauldron machine still sitting unplugged. She stood up, walked over to the bin, and lifted the banner back out. I didn't say a word. She hung it up carefully, same spot as before. Then she plugged the lights back in. The orange glow came back to life. She walked over to the ghost piñata, adjusted its height, stepped back to check it, then picked up her clipboard from the floor. Her hands weren't shaking anymore. Okay, she said, mostly to herself. We can still do the candy graveyard before dark. I'll start the slime station inside. Pumpkin toss in the driveway. I leaned against the doorway, arms crossed. Her voice shifted, more focused, more sure, like she was stepping back into herself. She moved fast. Reset the chairs by the face paint table, flipped on the bubble machine, rechecked the game sheets. She even added something new. I saw her pull out glow-in-the-dark bracelets from a drawer and start spreading them around the snack table. Then she straightened her wings and walked past me like she had a job to do. And she did. Because this wasn't her backup plan. It was always the plan. Her audience just changed. The chalk arrows on the driveway weren't even dry when the first doorbell ring hit. I opened it to see Lisa, my old coworker from the hospital, standing there holding a toddler in a dragon suit and a bag of kettle corn. Her middle kid bounced beside her, already eyeing the balloon arch. Hope we're not too early, she said, winded. I couldn't get them to wait. You're perfect. Come on in. They stepped inside just as Emily came around the corner, clipboard in hand, lanyard around her neck like a pro. Her wings caught the hallway light. She knelt down to the little dragon. Are you here for the candy graveyard? The kid nodded, wide-eyed. Follow me, she said, holding out a glow bracelet. You're gonna need this. 5 minutes later, another knock, then 2 more right after. By the time 30 minutes passed, my driveway looked like a full-blown parade. Princesses, skeletons, tiny cops, robots, witches. Parents followed in hoodies, holding cider cups, phones out. Inside, Emily was on. She ran the candy corn toss like a game show host. She narrated the ghost piñata countdown like it was live TV. She read stories in the corner tent with voices, hand gestures, all of it. She controlled the chaos, made kids laugh, solved mini meltdowns, kept things moving. Not one parent had to lift a finger. One mom leaned over to me while watching her run a costume contest. Did she plan this? Every piece of it, I said. She do birthdays? Starting now, yeah. Another mom took a video of the ghost piñata breaking open. Kids screaming, candy flying. She whispered, my sister's gonna freak when she sees this. She spent $50 on hayrides that sucked minutes later. Another mom posted a photo of her kid at the pumpkin ring toss with the caption, cutest last-minute carnival ever. This 19-year-old saved Halloween. Then the tags started. The comments, the shares. Someone posted in the local parenting Facebook group. Meanwhile, her family bailed to go to her cousin's party across town. They didn't even tell her. 19 years old and this girl's running a whole event by herself. Give her your business. Names were named. Amanda's party was mentioned. Screenshots flew. That's when my phone buzzed again. Caller ID, cousin Rachel, one of the ones who'd gone to Amanda's. I stepped into the hallway. Hello? Vanessa, we didn't know. I swear. We just thought Amanda had planned something. We didn't realize it was Emily's original thing. Everyone's talking about it now. Yeah, I said flatly. They are. She's doing all right? I glanced at the living room. Emily had the kids doing a freeze dance game while she judged from a witch chair she made out of an old recliner and purple streamers. She's not just all right. She's better than fine. Rachel sighed into the phone. Do you think we should come by? Party's almost over, I said. You already picked your side. I hung up. Back in the kitchen, a dad was asking Emily if she ever did school carnivals. She handed him a paper sign-up sheet, something she made days ago, just in case. Another mom pulled me aside. You should be proud. She's got something special. Not just the ideas, she knows how to run a room. I didn't answer. I was too busy watching Emily explain the rules for the pumpkin puzzle relay to 6 6-year-olds and one grown man who was clearly more excited than his kid. She was glowing, laughing, moving like she belonged in the middle of all of it. She wasn't faking it anymore. They saw her now. Maybe not the family that raised her, But the people who mattered tonight, they didn't just show up, they noticed. And that was enough. The next morning, my phone rang at 7:02 a.m. No hello, no pause. Just her voice, sharp, bitter. "What did you do?" I didn't even flinch. I put her on speaker and kept folding the plastic tablecloths from last night. "I didn't post anything." "Well, somebody did." And now the entire damn internet thinks Amanda stole something from that girl. "That girl," I repeated. "You mean your granddaughter?" She ignored it. "You have to fix this. Call the group. Tell them it was a misunderstanding. Tell them Amanda lied," I said, cutting her off. She lied. And they told the truth. I could hear her breathing shift. That tight inhale she always did when she was about to fake cry or play victim. "You don't understand the damage this is doing," she said, low and dramatic, like I'd threatened national security. "No," I said calmly. "You don't understand the damage you did. And we're not hiding it this time." Click. She hung up. Seconds later, my phone lit up again, this time with texts from Amanda. All caps. "You think this is funny? You made me look like a monster. I could sue you for defamation." I laughed. Out loud, standing there in my kitchen in my old flannel and house slippers. I typed back. "You ghosted a 19-year-old's first event and tried to pass it off as your own. They posted the truth. That's not defamation. That's documentation." 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. I waited. Nothing. I turned to Emily, who was still in pajamas, curled up on the couch eating leftover candy corn for breakfast. She looked at me, eyebrows raised. "Everything okay?" "Better than okay," I said. I walked over to the table, picked the 3 best photos off my phone, one of her running the costume contest, one mid-laugh at the slime lab, and one wide shot of the snack station glowing under the lights she'd strung herself. I opened Facebook and typed, "This was my daughter's first solo event. The original guest bailed, so we found better ones." I hit post, that was it. No tags, no hashtags, no angry rants, just truth. It exploded. First it was the parents from last night, dropping hearts and thank you comments. Then it spread. Friends of friends, mutuals, strangers from the community group. Emily's phone buzzed, then buzzed again, and again. She picked it up slowly, expecting another slap in the face. Instead, her eyes widened. "Mom, someone just asked if I do Thanksgiving parties." I smirked. "Well, do you?" She blinked. Yeah, I could." Another ping, another message. Someone asking if she had a website, someone else asking her rates, a teacher asking if she'd be interested in a winter carnival. Emily sat up straighter, and just like that, the bounce came back into her voice. "Okay," she said, grabbing her clipboard off the floor. "I need to update this. I need a logo. Wait, can we order business cards?" "You're damn right we can." She stood up, already planning, and I stood back, watching her roll right into the next thing. Because she wasn't asking for permission anymore. They tried to humiliate her, but the world saw something else. And it turns out, the only thing Emily really needed was a better audience. Emily scribbled like she was possessed, clipboard in one hand, phone in the other. "Okay," she muttered, "I need packages, like tiers. Birthday basic, birthday deluxe, holiday bundles." I handed her my laptop. "Make a list, build it out." She took it and dropped onto the couch, legs crossed, already sketching something in the corner of the page. I looked over her shoulder. It was a logo, rough, but I got it. Sparkles and a ghost, bubble letters. She wrote the name underneath, Sprinkle and Spook. "Cute," I said. "It's mine," she said, like that sealed it. That afternoon, she opened a new email account, bought a domain, made a placeholder homepage with some basic info and the same 3 photos I'd posted. The bookings didn't slow down. If anything, they doubled. By Friday, she had events lined up for Thanksgiving, one Christmas fair, and a snowman Saturday for a library. And then came the blog. Some local parenting site did a write-up. Teen carnival host turns family snub into community hit. No names mentioned, but everyone in town knew, and so did Amanda. Her socials tanked overnight. She posted a photo from her harvest dinner with a long caption about forgiveness and grace. 0 likes, 0 comments. Then she posted a throwback, then a selfie, then nothing. Mutuals stopped tagging her. Someone took her out of the group chat for the annual ornament exchange. It was like people were finally done pretending. I was in the middle of helping Emily mock up a flyer when my phone buzzed again. My stepdad. I hadn't heard a word from him all week. I answered, expecting a lecture. I wasn't wrong. "You're tearing the family apart," he said. No hello, just straight into the guilt trip. "No," I said calmly. "I'm just done pretending it wasn't already broken." "Vanessa, come on!" I didn't let him finish. I blocked him mid-sentence, and then I handed Emily my phone. "Anyone else you want to cut loose?" She scrolled through the thread with Amanda, paused at a picture of the Harvest dinner table, then blocked her too. Then the cousins. Then my mother. It didn't feel dramatic. It felt clean, like closing a door that should have never been left open. We didn't make a big deal out of it. We just decided to stop chasing people who kept walking away. And the second we did, everything got quiet. Not empty, just peaceful. Emily clicked publish on the Sprinkle and Spook homepage and leaned back like she'd just taken a final exam and nailed it. I sat beside her, coffee in hand, watching the site load. It looked legit. Clean layout, bright colors, simple navigation. A little ghost mascot in the corner that blinked when you hovered. The landing page had 4 packages listed: Mini Bash, Party Palooza, Holiday Theme, and Custom Adventure. Each had pictures from the Halloween Carnival. Real kids, real games, real fun. All her own photos, her own words, her own everything. By that night, she had her first official booking. Thanksgiving weekend, craft party for a group of elementary kids. Paid in full by a mom who messaged, "You saved our Halloween. Can we book you for winter?" Emily looked at me, then at the message, then at her planner. "Yeah, I'm adding winter packages." She opened a new doc and started writing. Snowball Bash, Elf Adventure, Cookie Camp. I watched her go from quiet to electric in minutes, like something finally clicked back into place. No hesitation, no second guessing, just forward. That Thanksgiving party went off without a hitch. Craft tables, glittery turkeys, hot chocolate station. She wore a scarf with little pumpkins on it and introduced herself like a pro. "Hi, I'm Emily from Sprinkle and Spook." I stood in the back and just watched. Not once did she look around hoping someone from the family would show up. Not once did she mention Amanda. She was too busy actually doing the thing. And she wasn't trying to prove it to anyone anymore, especially not the people who never believed her in the first place. That was the biggest shift. She stopped bringing them up, stopped checking for new texts, stopped wondering if they'd apologize. They didn't, of course, but it didn't matter, because we never sent another invitation. We didn't write long goodbye messages or explain ourselves. We just stopped replying, let them drift into silence. And in their place, there was this calm, this weird, overdue peace. No guilt, no drama, just room to build something new. One night, I came home from work and found Emily at the kitchen table, drawing a logo for a new party package. Her hair was up, sleeves rolled, focused. She looked up and smiled, an easy, confident smile that didn't need approval from anyone. That's when I knew. She wasn't stuck anymore. She was building a life they never saw coming. And I was just lucky enough to be close enough to witness it. Emily taped the cookie camp flyer to the fridge and walked off humming. I opened Facebook to check the local events page, and there it was, Amanda's post, a cardboard box stacked on the trunk of her car, the back seat crammed with more, one labeled Kitchen Fragile in black marker. The caption, Newtown, fresh start. Sometimes the people you thought would always be there hurt you most. I let out a breath through my nose, rolled my eyes, no comment, no like. I just turned the screen toward Emily. She glanced, barely paused. "Let them start over," she said, shrugging. "We already did." Then she went back to cutting out heart shapes from pink paper with her friend Kayla, who she'd just brought on part-time. Kayla was setting up little puppets for their new Valentine's show, cupids and love bugs and a dancing skunk in a top hat. The whole living room was covered in decorations, ribbons, tulle, glitter foam. Every table was being used. Every marker had lost its cap. And Emily looked more in control than ever. She had back-to-back bookings through March. Birthday gigs, school visits, a winter library tour. 2 community centers had asked about summer themes already. And I couldn't stop thinking about that first night. The lights off, the handmade banners packed away, her sitting in the dark in that fairy costume like something had died. Now she had a business, a schedule, a wait list. No begging for respect, no trying to get anyone to see her. They missed it. That's on them. That night after dinner, we were sitting on the couch watching some dumb baking show when Emily asked, casual but quiet, Do you think they'll ever apologize? I didn't pretend to be hopeful. I just said the truth. No, but we don't need them to. She nodded, and then she smiled. Not a polite one, not the forced kind you give people to keep peace, a real one. The kind I hadn't seen since before they broke her heart. The kind she used to give when she still believed in them. Now? Now she believed in herself. And I knew, as clear as anything, we were done chasing people who never clapped. Done explaining her dream to people who never listened. We didn't win them back. We just moved on without them. And we were going to be just fine.